right. I think I'm streaming. Yes, I am streaming. All right. So, never done this before. First time. Got my Formula One stuff up. Hey, everybody. I'm Jason. I'm a new vibe coder, but I've been in the tech space for a while. I have a startup called Katika. Let me show you guys real quick. Trying to get the page in. So Katika is Black Business Directory mobile app. We are based out of Philadelphia, but it's a scalable platform. You could literally, I think we pre-populated a couple major cities, but anybody could add their business, and you'll show up in the app. You just have to fill out a certain portion, like 70% of your profile, and you show up. So it's almost like a mix between like a Yelp and a social network like a LinkedIn for businesses, and we kind of combined them to create Katika. So in addition to that, you can also buy domains from us. So see up there at the top, we've got Website Dreamer, so you can create cheap websites for $10 a month. And then we have experiences, so we do in-person events. And then if you want a consultation, you can always schedule some time with us. So that's a little bit about what I do. Full-time, I work as a cybersecurity manager at Dell State University. But today, I have so many windows up. Today, I'm going to be doing a little vibe coding with this idea that I've had for a minute called Katika TV, where basically aggregate or curate a lot of the Black streaming shows that are on YouTube into one place. And so it's almost like a new age BT, if you will. So I'm going to use OpenClaw to do this. Let's see, let's do it in the dashboard. And I've written out the kind of like the layout already, the description, but the fill that I said I wanted to do. Well, you'll see. Because like I said, I wrote it out, so I'm about to type it up, and you'll see how I kind of lay everything out. So I know the more specific that you are, the better, the results. So let's start with the name. I'm gonna say what's up to Neo. Hey Neo, that's the name of my OpenClaw. I'm getting this authentication error because there's something wrong with the token. I'm not going to get into it, but I'll eventually fix. So he says, hey, Jason, good morning, what's up? And I'm going to say, nothing much. I've had an idea for a while that I want you to help me build today. It's called Tika TV. Think of it as a modern day BET. Now, I trained Neo to be very well versed in Black culture. Like, Neo was Black. And how do I know this? I've also trained him in his vernacular, so how he talks to me, like, you may or may not see, but that's one of the powers of OpenClaw. So, and I'll just say really quickly, so I think in the future, Neo could actually be applied to a physical device or applied to a virtual human. Like, so think of the metaverse, right? So I've created and built this personality, this artificial intelligence. He just needs a body. So that could exist in metaverse, that could exist in a humanoid robot. So yeah, I think, as the years go on and we build these personalized AIs up, I don't think they'll only exist through a messaging app, or we'll only be able to communicate through them through a bot, or a window context box or something like that. So anyway, that's what I think. A little anecdote. So back to what I'm building. So it says, think of it as a modern day BET, but with a Netflix feel. I want to offer user suggestions on content. Send them emails if they opt in when new shows are posted. Learn users' preferences of shows, track track, and I'm kind of getting into the analytics. How long they watch shows, which shows, and categories are most watched. Create hooks for the platform to make sticky. Users use Facebook meta techniques. The future of this platform could be turned into an app, so think about the architecture for the future. And say think about the development architecture for the future. That way, in other words, like build it in something like React Native that could eventually turn into an app, right? So I'm kind of all over the place. So let me see. Let's go back up here. Let's break this up. All right, so I'm describing what it is, and then I know where I'm going to pull the shows from, so I'm going to grab that in a minute. Okay, so let's see. Oh shit. I hit enter. I didn't mean to hit enter. I was trying to hit shift enter to go to the next line, but all right. So let me just finish getting these thoughts out. So, all right, I want this to build this in Vercel with convex. So these are two. Well, convex is a database architect for the back end. And then Vercel is going to put it up into the cloud for the front end. Now, let's see, build this in Vercel, convex. Make sure the site is secure. The sign up should be simple. Ask for a name and email before users can access content. What else? See what I did by accident. I started writing out notes for a different website, and I kind of conflated them. So that's why I'm a little slow today with what this is going to look like. Let me see. So simple sign. That's for email. Okay. I'll also need an admin area to manage categories, which shows user accounts, manage postings, and library with read and write permissions. Okay, so here's the other piece of it. So the actual content libraries. The content library should be comprised of shows, pulling a live feed, I don't call it live feed. Pulling new shows from specific accounts. I'm gonna say when a new show comes out, Katika TV should automatically populate with that show's new video from YouTube. So in other words, like, I don't want to manually have to add these videos. I want there to be a script that says, okay, when, let's just say, Breakfast Club publishes a show, I want it to go out. It'll probably do what's called a cron job. Look every day for a new video, and then if it finds that link, it'll pull it and then populate Katika TV with that content. I'm going to tell it to basically pull the title, pull the description, and some other data points from there too. When the new show comes out, so I full transparency, I did attempt this inside of the Katika app. I mean, it's there, so I won't say attempted. I built it, but it became too labor intensive because I had to do it manually, and so I limited the amount of shows, and even that didn't help. Like, it was just a lot to do for one person. But now with AI, we can automate all of this with scripts. All right, so when a new show comes out, Katika TV should automatically populate the platform with that show's new video from YouTube. YouTube, you can create a daily cron job to search for new content from these channels. These YouTube channels. Okay. All right. So let's give it that, and then I'm going to, let's see. I know it's saying stuff back to me. Okay, so he's letting me know. So I have different agents building different pieces of this. So that's good. Okay, now what else? So it's building that. Let's see. If we want to see my workers in action. So no, Atlas is working on architecture, Cody's working on pipeline, Trish is working on design. We got Scout working, Quill's working. So yeah, this is the team working right now on different pieces of that job that I just showed. So let's continue. Now, where are we going to get the content from? So when I originally came up with the idea, I put it in my Apple Notes. See, this is something different. What do you call it? Katika TV. All right, boom. So this may change, but let's just grab the whole thing. Providing the shows for chosen categories for edited content for Katika TV. Phone, send it. now I want to work on some strategies on how to make this sticky. So I want to create a PR campaign announcing this platform on Katika USA, Instagram, and Twitter. Develop a plan. Research successful campaigns of projects, similar projects and companies. Then develop a plan to create a dynamic, edgy, cultural campaign that utilizes let's see, what kind of campaign that utilizes draws consumers. This campaign will be automated. Alright, so I said I want to create a PR campaign announcing this platform on Katika USA, Instagram, and Twitter. That's our handle for Katika. So research successful campaigns of successful projects and companies. Develop a plan to create a dynamic, edgy cultural campaign that draws consumers into VR content. Become members of this free platform. Include videos, still graphics, captions that will be used. This campaign will be automated, so take your time for planning and how it should be released. The cadence, frequency, and provide release, posting frequency, and provide any other helpful suggestions that will help. That would happen. Okay. Oh, sorry, I don't know what's going on. Okay, so then that's done. Okay. So I want to add. See, I don't think Mark does his own thing anymore. I haven't seen DL. So this is, I made this, I mean, it's showing the date today, but it was created, I don't know how to see creation date, but anyway, it's old. I want to add Don Lemon on here. got the pivot, got 4th and 1. I think that's good for right now. And we'll grow this, but I just want to make sure I add down limit on there. Show to the politics category. News category, and if Joy Reid has a show, you show and hers as well. Alright, now I can also say, give me a target time for when this will be, for when I can see a draft of the site. I'm also going to say, don't forget to use the existing thumbnails, titles, and captions in conjunction with your own styling and titling for the website, for the platform. And this, I can't remember if I said this or not, this website should be mobile friendly. Okay, so I get a breakdown. So we're looking at 12:30 basic structure. It's 11:03 right now. It says UI layout design system ready about 1 o'clock. 2 p.m. draft site. Okay, that's good. Content catalog and video player functional. Admin dashboard for everything we working with you to see. Okay, so we're looking at 2 o'clock. So basically, this thing's going to have everything I just wrote out, a draft in 3 hours. That's incredible. That is incredible. So I'm looking forward to that. In the meantime, in between time, last thing. Sometimes I'll tell it to, so right now the models that I use, models up here, are Claude Sonnet, Opus, Haiku. I use OpenAI's GPT. I use Google's Gemini. I don't see on here that should be on here is Quinn, and Kimmy should be on there as well too. So I utilize all the models out there. I don't just rely on one. Although I will say there's a huge difference between Opus and the rest. Opus is by far the best, but it's also the most expensive. As you can see right here, these prices, cost per token prices right there. So I make sure I track all that information. Otherwise, you could burn through a lot of money. But to build something like this, I mean, yeah, I think I've got more than enough tokens. Yeah, and then when you run out of paid tokens, you can switch to different models, like the Chinese models, for much less, literally like a tenth of the cost. They run a little slower, but they're good. They're okay, especially for small projects. If you're just starting out, for people that do heavier lifting type projects, like it's not going to cut it. So the meantime, in between time, there's also another project that I have called Critique Music. And so the idea behind Critique Music is, as you see, there's a map, and anywhere that you click, the countries that are highlighted in red are part of the African diaspora. And so any country that you click will play music from that country. So I'm utilizing Spotify, the API from Spotify, to do this. Now it was timing out yesterday, and I'm using OpenClaw Claude Code to do this project. So I'm not sure if I'm still in. Yeah, it's still there. So sometimes if like the machine goes off or tells me what you need, the session closes, but then it does have a memory, the MD file. So, but sometimes it always doesn't work. Not as good as OpenClaw. So let's continue. I want to work on Katika music. Again, let's finish up with the custom Spotify playlist. Oh man, I'm looking at the feed. That my video looks crazy. Oh man, I'm looking at the feed. That my video looks crazy. Oh man. Let's see if we can fix that. Yep, and there it goes. Sorry about that. I will put myself. Okay. So, just minimize that. Like I said, very new to this, but I'm definitely gonna keep it up. This is a lot of fun. So, all right. So this is my. While that's working on that, let me just minimize that. Okay, so you see here where it says running clean, no rate limit. So basically, what was happening was I had the API go out and make these lists. So I said, research the country, research artists from that country, and then make the playlist based off of artists that lived in that country. So it was doing those searches, but it's API, right? So it's trying to move as efficiently and as fast as possible. But when you hit the servers of Spotify that fast and with that many requests, it can look suspicious. And so they essentially timed me out and said, you're doing too many requests. You have to wait 24 hours before you can come back. Now, what I found out was there's actually techniques that AI can do to look more human when they're touching or doing pulls from the API, requests from the API, hitting Spotify servers. So Claude Code rewrote its script to look more human to do that request. And so that was really, really helpful. Anytime I've gotten into issues or trouble with OpenClaw, I've used Claude Code to fix OpenClaw. Claude Code seems to be a better programmer, I'm not gonna lie. But OpenClaw allows it to be kind of like the central brain, and then Claude Code is like a sidekick. like looking out, kind of like Batman and Robin, if you will. And then getting back to the project on the screen, I'm reading through the log. So as you can see right here, it is on Niger. It's going through 40 countries. It did 13 yesterday and then stopped. Humming along already through Nigeria, Malawi, Zambia, Zimbabwe, Mozambique, Madagascar, Tanzania, Kenya. Let me keep monitoring. I love it. See, Speed I just thought about something. My brother Speed. So I was really excited to see Speed do his trip across Africa. It was very, very inspirational. When I was around his age, 26, it's crazy, I sound old as hell. I did backpacking. I went backpacking for 7 months across Central America. And so I had a similar experience. Of course, different cultures, different languages, blah, blah. But just being out in an unknown countries, learning from the people, learning customs, like I saw a lot of similarities. If y'all want to, see what it's like in Central America, you can go on my Facebook page and check out the photos there. I think there's an album, but you'd have to go back to 2015, I think. Let me see, I was 26. Yeah, 2015, 2016. So you'd find them there. So this project is something that's kind of been in the works for a minute. I created the original version of Katika Music Map was when I first created Katika, maybe like 2 years into it. I used to have something called Katika Lab, so I would like bring up any side projects that I had into that, and that was one of them. And I was like, I've never seen this, and nobody's like really. I mean, it sounds kind of simple. It's like it's just a map, but it's like I don't know. If you did want to like hear the latest music in that country, like it's a way to, especially for music lovers, a way to like learn and hear music from other cultures and like have a connectiveness across the diaspora as well too. So I'm going to let this script keep running. And listen, I had to make 2 accounts because it like crashed out on the first one was like timed out. Then I was like, what would you need to keep going? It was like a new account. I said, well, I got another email address. Let me make a new account. So definitely did that. Then it was like, hey, it's tracking our IP address. I said, let me download a VPN. Connect to this VPN. We're good. So, but then, I don't want to keep making accounts, whatever. But you do. My point is, you do what you got to do to get these projects done. So let me now go to first version, and I noticed like in South Africa, it put like if you didn't know who this was, this is a young picture of or a picture of young Marvin Gaye. So I was like, oh, something's wrong. Then I started seeing the 5 Stair Studs, Natalie Cole. So I'm like, something's wrong. Script went wrong. So I believe the first attempt was in open clause. So this attempt is now in I hit a rate limit. Okay, so this is, what is it doing? See, good progress, went from 13 to 31 playlists this run, got through all of West Africa, East Africa, and North Africa before hitting the rate limit again. Motherfucker. 22 countries remaining. Angola, DR Congo, blah, blah, blah. Same situation as before. The rate limit is app level, 24 hours. Script will auto resume from Angola when you resume again tomorrow. So then I'm going to say, can you use the login and we call it client info, or can you use the client information from the other account to continue your work? Okay, so it says still need the client ID for the other app. You only shared the new secret earlier. Can you grab the client ID for Spyware dashboard? That's not true. That's not true. Okay, so let me see. What's the client ID for the account you are using? Alright, so that's the current client ID. So let me go here. So I got two computers up. So I thought I gave it two separate client IDs and passwords, but apparently not. So what I'm going to do now, because it timed out on one account, I'm going to now attempt to give it a different account so it can finish doing what it needs to do. But honestly, let's see, how many countries did I say? I've got 22 countries remaining. Now, it was able to do 31, so yeah, let's just go ahead and finish it up. I was almost tempted to say, let's just publish it with the ones that we have, and then, when the timeout expires, then I can just have it update tomorrow. But no, let's just do it. Alright, so 1 second. Of course, it's the most. Spotify login. What else can I say? There's a bunch of posts on like X that will tell you, especially for OpenClaw, different. Sorry, give me 1 second. What? So for the other project for Katika TV, I said to come up with a PR and all I should have told her we don't have a budget. It's also $85,000. So I'm gonna say, let Harold know. If you want to know who Harold is, where's Harold at? This is Harold. Look, he's dancing around. God damn it! I'm gonna come up with a way to slap you. Anyway, let Harold know we are a bootstrap company and have a budget of $0. We must advertise and promote organically and through guerrilla marketing. Outside of that, I didn't even read the rest of the post. I was like, hey, what the fuck else we need to talk about? Anyway, all right. So Harold just finished building your Katika TV launch strategy, and it's incredible. He's created a full cultural moment around the platform launch, not just a product announcement. 4 complete strategy, main campaign strategy, 3-phase launch plan with the culture lives here positioning, content templates, 90 plus ready to use captions, creator scripts, hashtag strategy, excuse me, automation guide, hands off posting. Sorry, I just thought about something. When does the Formula One race start today? The race is, that's qualifying. Where's the race? Any other time there's a fucking timer up here. The fuck is the race? 2300. Alright, this is pissing me off. When is the Formula One race? I love that Google put AI tab right there. Alright, I know it's Sunday, but I'm on the East Coast in America, so it is at 11 o'clock at night, which is fine. Just wanted to know that. Thank you. Anywho. Alright, so let's check back into Spotify. We got the login. I gave it, let's see, beats. Okay, so that is that account. I need to log into. Actually, I may need to pause because I definitely don't want to show the. Don't want to show the. Thingamajig, the client ID. Is there a way I can pause this? Well, let me get there and then I'll pause it. Alright, so now this is developer, developer, Spotify. Dashboard. I said, what's the client ID for the account you're currently using? Okay, so he was using that one. So now let me log out. Actually, dashboard. Yeah, he got me the wrong one too. What? All right. On ID. Pause you for a second. You will not be able to reconnect your channel. Stop. Oh, all right. Well, maybe this is where I gotta. Sorry. All right, guys. Well, this is the end of the stream. I'll pick back up next time. But appreciate y'all. This is my first stream ever. Yeah, this was kind of fun. It's like you guys kind of just watch me what I do on the computer. Hopefully I'm talking enough. But yeah, I'm going to keep vibe coding and showing off these projects. Hopefully get a chance to push them up to GitHub if anybody wants to fork them or have a discussion about what I'm building. I'm here. All right, take care. See you next time.